Hi everybody, welcome to the dungeon. My name is Robin and today is Flameworking 102.43. It's been really hot down here in the dungeon and the perfect time to make very quick pieces, simple pieces. Today I have some Stratis Drops to share with you all, and it's nothing more than just adding glass on the end of a copper wire in whatever fashion you desire. That's what I'm doing today, and it is in real time, and I hope you all enjoy. And on that note, I hope you're all doing safe and well out there. Stay cool, and thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next time in the dungeon. Okay, I'm going to start everything out by putting my copper wire into my rod holder. There's a lot of different holders for the copper wire. You might be able to get a pin vise or something. This one's a bit cumbersome, but it works. It works. And I'm going to start out by just adding a nice wrap of glass on the end of the wire. Now, I did flatten this out at first, but I had made several of these ahead of time, and I noticed that if it's too flat and you're not constantly, keeping it warm, it will crack where the copper meets the glass. So do be careful here. I'm just going to round that out and we'll go ahead and start adding more glass. So the first wrap I'm going to add is just all the way around the base from one side all the way up to the other. And if you decide to make something like this, it's a free form shape. It doesn't have to be just like this one. It can be any shape you want. This is perfect for me today because it's so hot in the dungeon, and I'm sitting next to my annealer, so it makes it a little bit hotter. So having something like this to play around with, I didn't feel any stress. It was just nice to play with the glass. So I'm just going to continue to follow this form. And the color that I'm using here is the Double Helix Triton, one of my favorite double helix colors, and I just absolutely love the way it reduces at the end. This is one of my favorite reduction colors. So I continue to just get my glass hot and then add it and kind of, walk it around the glass. And I'm just doing what kind of, I guess, feels natural where I end and begin. And every now and then I do want to make sure that I am continuously flashing the bit at the very top where the copper meets the glass. That's really important. You don't want these to crack. Now, a whole bunch of these really look amazing together, especially when they're all different looking. And the pattern that is kind of coming out of this reminds me of when you chip obsidian glass and it gives you that conchodial fracture, those kind of curved lines. That's what this pendant reminds me of, and I just love it. I love the texture that it will give you. It's really all about the texture and the lines here, and you can add them wherever you want. Every now and then I will go ahead and kind of flatten it, but it doesn't have to be flat either. This can be a slight curve to the whole piece. Give it some movement. All right, we're about halfway done here. And I'm gonna just start adding a little bit to the bottom to just finish things off. This is a very quick piece, you guys. I hope you enjoy this. I know it's not like super complex or anything, but it's still fun to be able to just come up with new ways to play with the material. A little bit more on the bottom, and it's just the action of swiping on the glass and seeing this whole shape come to form. That's very soothing and satisfying for me today. And there you can start swiping in any areas that you want. You can continue on the top, you can continue on the bottom, and once you start to get to the very end. Like right here, if you want to, you can do less of a long swipe all the way around. Now instead of going around, I'm just kind of swiping on the bottom half, but still making sure that the wire is nice and warm at the top. This is a great way to just play with the glass, and it doesn't take that long to make pendants like this. It doesn't even have to be a pendant. It can be a part to a larger piece with different components. A little bit more on the end. And then there's times where if you want to, you can add different colors. It doesn't all have to be the same. You can add thick lines. You can add very thin lines. Let the lines, you know, become, well, it's part of the whole, you know, it just, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just having a good time playing with the glass today, you guys. And we're almost done here at the end. I just want to finish up a little bit at the tip. Give it a nice heat. And I'm really hoping that the weather cools down here so I can do a little bit more for you guys. It just kind of depends. I think everybody is experiencing some warmer weather than normal lately. All right, here we are at the end. I'm just going to go ahead and gently flatten this down. I love the way these look. They're all different, they're all interesting, and they look great together. So before I'm done here, what I want to do is give it a nice reduction. So I'm going to turn down my oxygen so I have a nice reduction flame and give it a nice wave in that flame at the very tip. Everybody, I don't know, some people do reduction differently and they hold the glass closer to the cones, but I like mine way out there until I'm seeing some nice reduction happening. I love the way this looks, you guys. I hope you enjoy it. And you know, at the end, you will see one of these pieces kind of crack at the top. So do be careful again, and I hope you enjoy. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time in the dungeon.